As someone who's enjoyed Screwface John's diss tracks towards academics and the OVO fans, upon hearing Screwface announce the release of his new single, Document 79, I was curious. I had to know what this song was. I've been someone who greatly respects Screwface John as a rapper, and as a content creator, and as a reactor, and as an overall devoted disciple to hip-hop itself. In a sense, I've always viewed Screw as a sort of archivist of hip-hop in a way. I used to dislike React content, but with people like Screw, I think I've come to understand why React channels are vital, not only to like the internet ecosystem, but to the hip hop ecosystem as well. Add on top of his battle rap background, this song evokes imagery of championship, championing all the hallmarks of hip hop Screw dedicates himself to. I feel that's represented in the first half of the song as it opens up with a loud and vivacious soul sample utilizing chopped up, looped female vocals as it blares proudly in the background with magical intensity. Screwface's vocal delivery is gritty and husky, set to the backdrop of a traditional boom bap beat. It's like an announcement of his arrival on the battlefield. Drake's been very adamant about his history about not fitting in, whether it's been due to his father's absence, his outsider status growing up because of his mixed heritage, even being referred to as a Yiddish word slur for black. And even as he came into the rap game as being socially awkward, he was constantly disrespected for being soft, quote unquote. Many would regard Drake's demeanor as uncomfortable, the way he is infatuated with hip-hop, its artifacts, its culture, and its central figures in a way that comes off as besetting, juvenile even. And on the second half of the song, we switch up into a cold, dark, atmospheric trap beat. If the first half was his departure into the battlefield as the kingdom announces his presence, then the second half is him at the battlefield, surrounded by the ashes of villages burned by his foes bent on the destruction of his home and people. I think what's going on with the lawsuit, Drake's standbase, and the industry at large feels reflective of the current political climate on a smaller scale. Small men who set out to create a world of which they live and die by the sword, one that they believe themselves to be the only ones to thrive in. In all reality, it's just a push for easy living behind all the bravado and fake grit, not having the guts to live or die by the sword. Instead of looking inward as to why and how things got so bad at this point, they would rather be angry and do nothing. They would rather set themselves up for failure. The world they set up for them has turned against them, and instead of reflecting, they would rather retaliate, thus making the world they built even worse for everyone else and for themselves. It's a caustic environment where everybody wants to be loved for just existing, for being in the rap game. Drake created a caustic environment in hip-hop by curating a culture of passive aggression, fear of confrontation, subliminal petty taunts, shady moves within the music industry, unneeded self-involvement, all while accumulating a dedicated following of man-children who have an unyielding devotion to him and his shallow behavior. Well, without Drake, y'all would have never have heard your favorite rappers, eh? While Drake has most definitely contributed to the world of music by helping to popularize hip-hop in the mainstream, due to the transactional nature of his success, he has contributed no needle-pushing developments to hip-hop itself. Many obviously take issue with this, especially one Kendrick Lamar, who engaged in a rap Cold War with Drake for the better part of over a decade now, a Cold War in which would heat up and reach its boiling point, leading to the biggest rap feud of all time, ending in Drake's decisive and Pyrrhic defeat, not just by Kendrick, but by his own hand as well. Drake serves as an example of a man who, despite all trials and tribulations, has paved his own way within the world of music, achieved superstardom, became a household name, and has cemented his place within hip-hop history. And unfortunately, while he does have those achievements under his belt, there's another side to his story, and that is he serves as a cautionary tale of a boy who only ever grew in age only, a man who suffers from a sense of stunted development, unable to take rejection, harsh truths, and reality. A lot of YouTube musicians often don't get considered for best of the year in many categories. If it does happen, it's really rare. And even then, those types of songs only manage to reach the above average threshold. However, here I think it really reaches for the stars. To me, this song embodies everything that I love in the more lyrical side of hip-hop, speaking on struggle, tenacity, and upholding authenticity in a world that seemingly punishes it, not mincing words while still sculpting them with wit, humor, and clever observations. While Screw doesn't mince words, I think my favorite part of the track is on the second leg. It not only showcases his immaculate wordplay, but his ability to build a narrative that you can piece together on your own as you decipher the lyrics. From various references to rap monikers, battle rap, Drake's contradictory nature, to his Nigerian background that masterfully ties back to the opening lines of the song. The way it flows is like needling a thread to like a short story. It feels so rewarding and fulfilling the more I listen to this. As we can all learn from Drake, it's one thing to admire hip-hop, it's a whole other thing to love it. It's one thing to get involved within the art form, but it is a whole different ballgame to be engrossed and molded by it. It's kind of like what with the current political climate is now and, with MAGA, who Screwface does make apt comparisons to in terms of the gaslighting, the entitlement, etc., etc. It's one thing to live here and be involved in the going-ons of the country. It's another thing to love it. That love can't just be conditional. It has to be consistent and not one-sided. People out here really don't love this country despite them saying so, much like how Drake likes to think that he's this aficionado within hip-hop when in all reality he goes against all the tenets that make it what it is. In that sense, especially considering Screw's aptitude for battle rap, I kind of see him as something of like a paladin figure within hip-hop. I think that's a pretty good comparison. He's like a paladin class in D&D, someone who was ingrained within the culture as he grew and took on a vow to embrace, enforce, defend, and spread the good word of hip-hop with great zeal, devotion, and joy. I know I'm meat writing here, and I apologize for that. I really do, except I don't. The reason why, though, is because I believe this should serve as a demonstration of a rapper meeting a moment in time, not to catch a trend, but to say something worth a shit. Like it or not, Screwface Jean has played a vital part in hip-hop history and continues to play a vital part in hip-hop history. It may not seem like it now, but I really think this moment will be looked back upon years later with great pride and admiration. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Screwface Jean. I got a lot more invested into the song the more I read into it. I already liked it from initial listen, but the more I read into it, just the more I loved it. So, yeah, shout out to Screw, the hip-hop paladin. And I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Or don't. I'm not your mom.